Good evening, guys. In the last classes, we had discussed about basic structure of the Constitution and fundamental duties and amendment of the Constitution and DPSP. These four topics we had discussed in the last classes. Okay, so in today's classes, we are going to start with a new chapter, that is parliamentary form of government. Okay, in this chapter, this chapter is quite easy because here you should know like a particular definition or some kind of information from this chapter. Okay, this is easiest chapter, but the thing is definitely one questions will come. So how, what type of the questions is like, here we will discuss features of the parliamentary form of government ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಫೀಚರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಈ ಫೀಚರ್ದು ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫೀಚರ್ದು ವಿವರಣೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಸೊ ಹೇಗ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್, ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈ ಸತಿ KS 2025 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2025 ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಈ ತರ ಎರಡು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಟ್ವಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಏನು ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್, ರಿಯಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಆತರ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ it is easiest chapter, but the thing is you should have the clarity of the concept. Okay, so we'll come to the parliamentary form of government. As I had discussed in the first class itself, like parliament anta helidre it consists of two houses of the bodies. Okay, that is two houses is nothing but the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So this system of government has been adopted from the British Parliament. Okay, well, British Parliament, it has two system of government, that is upper house and lower house. Same that was adopted during the British administration. Then it continued to practice post independent. Okay, so we have parliamentary form of system, a parliamentary form of government at the center. Okay, that consists of two houses, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Whereas not all the states has a bicameralism. Bicameralism is nothing but two houses of the government. Okay, only few states, only 6 states, one among them is Karnataka, also has a bicameralism form of the government. Bicameralism is nothing but Vidhana Sabha and Vidhana Parishad. So the same way, even in the center, we have parliamentary form of government that consists of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is called as a house of state. Okay, that represent the states. Okay, that represents the each states. Then whereas the Lok Sabha, it is called as a house of people. Okay, that represents the voice of the people. Okay, this has been taken from the British. Okay, parliamentary form of the government has been taken from the British Constitution. So this fact you have to remember. Parliamentary form of government has taken from the British Constitution, and this parliamentary form is nothing but a government, a process of law making. Okay, so how the law is made, the law making process of the parliament, where it includes the parliamentary form of the government. Okay, parliament form of government is a system. Okay, see, you should know a system, we have two different types of system. One is parliamentary form of government, the other one is presidential form of government. Parliamentary form of government is nothing but where executive and legislative is present. Here it is like cordial relationship between the executive and legislative will be present. Whereas in the presidential form of government, which is present in today's USA and as well as Sri Lanka. Okay, this president executive and legislatives harmony will be not there. So that is why, in order to make the harmony between the legislative and executive, we have a parliamentary form of government. Okay, this is drawn from the legislature and collectively responsible to the legislature, especially to the lower house of the lower house of the parliament. Okay, so why we have a parliamentary form of the government? It is mainly to have a collective responsibility. So here the real executive power lies with the council of minister, head of the government. Head of the state is nothing but he is a president. Okay, head of the government, he is the prime minister. So these two differences you should know. Then parliamentary form of government is also called as cabinet form of government and responsible government, Westminster model of the government. Okay, cabinet form of government, why it is called? Because it is a cabinet, it consists of important portfolios or important ministers. They will look into the affairs of the Indias. Okay, they will look into the various affairs of the India. Then that small body is nothing but cabinet form of government. Okay, then responsible government. Responsible government is whatever they are implementing the acts and policies, or whatever the legislative things that they are bringing into the parliament, they will be responsible. Okay, say for an example, how they will be responsible. If we ask some questions in a legislative assembly of the Karnataka or Vidhan Sabha, we will get a written reply from a particular minister. So responsible government is nothing but, if anything is happening around the state or in the country, the particular minister will answer to the queries of the particular particular member. Okay, whoever have asked the question, that will be answered by that particular minister. So responsible government is nothing but the particular minister will be hold responsible for the acts and policies that is happening in and around India. And the Westminster model of the government is nothing but, see, one place, it was a Westminster. It was a one. It is one of the place in a UK. Okay, that is British. In that place there was a parliament. So with that through that place, the name Westminster model of the government have come. Okay, so here you should know different synonyms of this parliamentary form of government. The other one is the articles are important, and the features of the parliamentary form of government is important. Especially this article 74 ಮತ್ತೆ 75 ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ 163 ಮತ್ತೆ 164, ಈ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಖಂಡಿತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿ, ಒಂದು ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೂ ಖಂಡಿತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್, ಸುಮಾರು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರೀಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್, but the features which are important for your exam, just read them and understand what does it means. Okay, so well, coming back to the articles, article 74 ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, council of minister to aid and advice of the president. Okay, so council of minister headed by prime minister. Why there is a council of minister? Mainly to aid and advise the president. ಈ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ದು ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 74. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. Again, Article 75, it talks about the appointment of Prime Minister and collective responsibility of the Council of Ministers. Appointment of the Prime Minister, like see, whoever is the leader of that particular political party, he will be assigned as a Prime Minister of the India. Okay, so here mainly it talks about 75, Article 75, it talks about two things. One is appointment of the Prime Minister, as well as the collective responsibility. Collective responsibility, here it is, see, if some government, if some minister is taking some measure, okay, so he is bringing some legislative, say for an example, we have a finance minister called Sitaram. Okay, Nirmala Sitaram, she has, okay, she bought one of the bill, that is GST bill. Okay, if majority of the members is not giving a support to her, then it amounts to no collective responsibility. Then there will be a chances of collapse, or there is a chances of fall down of the government. Okay, collective responsibility is one of the important factor to run that particular government or particular political party in the state. Okay, so Article 75, it mainly talks about the appointment as well as the collective responsibility. And Article 4, it is about the aid and advice to the president. Then Article, see here, Article 77 is nothing but conduct of business of the government of India. Conduct of business is how the legislative procedure or how the executive has to carry out the various functions of the parliament. So Article 77 is nothing but conduct of the business. Then Article 163 and 164. So Article 163 is nothing but here Council of Minister to aid and advise the governor. Here it is president, right? So here 163 article says about the Council of Minister to aid and advise the governor. And again 164 it talks about the appointment of chief minister and collective responsibility in the legislative assembly of the particular state. So this four articles is important from your exam point of view. Okay, so we'll next move to the important features of the parliamentary form of government. So ನಾನು in the beginning itself I was telling like nominal ಮತ್ತೆ real executive. ಈ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಯಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. KAS 2025 ರೀ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲೈಕ್ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ and real executive. Real executive is our prime minister. Okay, nominal executive is our president. So what they did is they just interchanged the statement. So they made real executive as a president and nominal executive as a prime minister. So that option will be wrong. So be clarity and be clear with this. Nominal executive is like just a puppet. Nominal is nothing but he is a head of the state, but the ultimate power lies with a prime minister. Okay, this type of government we have taken from the British government, British constitution. So president is the nominal. So here the president is the nominal executive, while the prime minister is the real executive. So why prime minister is the real executive? Whatever the decision he is responsible to the parliament, he is responsible to the council of ministers, and he should also advise to the president. That is why he enjoys the real executive powers. Okay, all executive powers are exercised in the name of the president, but actually taken by the council of ministers. Okay, council of ministers headed by prime minister. I hope you are clear with this thing. Then collective responsibility. Collective responsibility is nothing but if any policies or if any program ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು 106 ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 545 members in our Lok Sabha. Okay, in Rajya Sabha we have 252 members. Okay, idralli namge more than 250 members has to support it. If they don't support, if only 50 members are supporting, then there is a chances of collective responsibility illa tara. Okay, so collective responsibility is nothing but this particular collective responsibility, if say for an example that ivaga we have BJP in center. Okay, so ee BJP ಅವರು ಒಬ್ರು ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್, ಓಕೆ, ಸೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಸೀತಾರಾಮ್, ಶಿ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ಆಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, then that amounts to no confidence motion. That amounts to the particular political party does not enjoy the support. Then there will be a policy, then there is a possibility of collapse of the government. So collective responsibility is one of the major important factor to run that particular political party in the state or the center. Okay, so here the council of minister is collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha, which is mentioned under the Article 75. Okay, if Lok Sabha passes a no confidence motion, the entire ministry must resign, ensuring accountability. See, this is important. ಲೋಕಸಭಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೋಷನ್, ಯಾವಾಗ ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೋಷನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಂದ್ರೆ, during the time when particular political party does not enjoys the support from from the majority of its own member. At that time, the other members can pass a motion saying that particular political party does not enjoy the support from the members. So at that time, that will the entire ministry must resign and ensuring the accountability. Then again, we should have a political homogeneity. Political homogeneity is nothing but, see, particular ಒಂದೇ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ there, then they can form a government through a coalition government. Okay, so we know we have presently in the center we have a coalition government. Why we have political homogeneity is, why we wanted to have political homogeneity is to ensure unity in the policies and decision, and to avoid the conflict between the executive and legislature. Then the next important feature of the parliamentary form of government is double membership. This is important. ಒಂದು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಪಿ ಎಸ್ ಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿನೇ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಶಿಪ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸಿ, ಡಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ the particular member or minister, he can be a member for both executive and legislative. So we know, like, we parliament, we have separation of powers. Okay, so in separation of powers we have legislative, we have executive, and we have judiciary. Okay, ಈ ಮೂರು ಅಂಗಗಳು ಇದಾವೆ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So here what executive is nothing but our president. Okay, then our prime minister, then all our ministers, so they are executive. Then here legislative is nothing but all our minister, which includes Rajya Sabha ministers as well as members, Lokasabha members. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ legislative part of the parliament ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. So what does this double membership is nothing but this person. Okay, see, say for an example, prime minister, he can be either from the Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. So double membership is nothing but he can hold a portfolio as well as can be a member. Okay, he can be a member for the council of minister, and he can also be a member of the any of the house of the parliament. Okay, that is includes the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So double membership is nothing but ministers are the members of both executive and legislative. A person, see, one more thing is, this is one of the most important parameter. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ if he is not a member to both the houses of the parliament, okay, he is not at all elected, he is not, we all know, like Rajya Sabha ಅಲ್ಲಿ the states has to elect. Okay, state particular legislative assembly ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸಭಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಇಂದ 12 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ವೆರಸ್ 28 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ. ಕೇಳ್ಬಹುದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇನ್ ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ MPs ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ MPs ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 12 and 28. See, if the particular member, say for an example, if that particular member does not represent both in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, at that time he can also be a member of the executive, or he can also be member of the legislative. But in one condition andre, he should become a member, he should be elected within the 6 months. Okay, within the 6 months of his appointment, that particular person has to get become the member of the either house of the parliament. So that is the statement. ಈ statement ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay, even if that ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಹಿಂಗೆ, even if the member is not the member to the parliament, does he can become a member. So he can become up to 6 months will be there. After 6 months he needs to be elected among the houses. Okay, so this one. So leadership of the prime minister. Why he is a leadership of the prime minister is because, see, he will be a responsible in the parliament, which includes both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Responsible in the sense, whatever the decisions, whatever the programs, or whatever the acts that are bringing in the house of the parliament, he will be he will be responsible for all those things, and whatever it is happening in and around India, so he will be the leader, he will be the leader who represent everyone's view. Okay, so leadership is nothing but he will be responsible to the parliament, and he needs to advise to the council of, he needs to advise to the president, and also he needs to advise, and he should make a collective responsibility of the council of ministers. Okay, leadership of the prime minister is one of the important feature of the parliamentary form of government. Then dissolution of the lower house. Ivaga, see for an example, dissolution of the lower house is nothing but the lower house, which is Lok Sabha, can be dissolved, or can dissolve is nothing but it's the new Lok Sabha can be formed. Okay, so dissolution of Lok Sabha, it can be in two ways. One is once it completes its full term, which includes 5 years complete ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, if that particular political party does not enjoys the support, does not enjoys the confidence in that particular house, at that time the prime minister can call for an motion, or can tell to the president that particular political party does not enjoy confidence, so I am going to resign. So in these two cases, the dissolution of the lower houses can happen. Okay, so here prime minister can recommend the dissolution of the Lok Sabha to the president, when he can recommend, when the party, or when the particular party does not enjoy the support or confidence in that house, then he can call for a no confidence motion. This allows the government to go back to the people in a case of political deadlock. So again ಈ ತರ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಯಾವ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಗೆದ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅವರು ಪವರ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಲೋವರ್ ಹೌಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸಿ ವಿ ನೋ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೂರು ಅಂಗಗಳು ಇದಾವೆ. ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಟಿವ್, ವಿ ನೋ. ಸೊ ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಿ ಇರಕ್ಕೆ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಿ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ executive and legislative. Harmony is nothing but there will be a cooperation between the executive and legislative. Executive is nothing but the prime minister, our council of ministers, then our president, CAG ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ executive members ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. So executive, so there will be a cordial relationship between the executive and legislative. And responsible and accountable. Next, responsible is nothing but I have already told, whatever the decision that is taken by the particular government, particular minister, he will be responsible to the members, he will be responsible to the people of India. Say for an example, how we can ensure the responsibility among the ministers is through a questionnaires. Okay, we know right now in Karnataka assembly there is a ongoing question hours naditide. So responsibility andre, responsible form of government is nothing but whatever their policies are bringing, the members, the other members, be it the opposition party or be the members who are not holding any portfolio, they can ask the question, they can debate on that particular subject of the matter, or anything that is happening. Say for an example, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸದನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ನೀವೇನ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಡಿಬೇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ functionaries, because in order to make responsible, okay, so that whatever they are bringing, there will be accountable on the behalf of the people. So we have a responsibility and accountable form of the government. So why we have adopted the parliamentary form of government? See, British legacy. I told during the British administration, mainly in 1935 Act, they brought bicameralism at center. Okay, whereas bicameralism at provinces they had brought in 1919 Act. ಈ ಎರಡು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬೈಕ್ಯಾಂಬ್ರಲಿಸಮ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, 1935 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವೆರಸ್ ಬೈಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಲಿಸಮ್ ಅಟ್ ಪ್ರಾವಿನ್ಸಸ್ ದೇ ಬಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ 1919 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ legacy was there. This particular form of government which was also present during the ancient period of time. So ancient period of time ಅಲ್ಲಿ you all know we had ಸಭಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮಿತಿ ಅಂತ ವೇದಿಕ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದಿಕ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಓದ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಸಭಾ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೌಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಸಮಿತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಲೆಗಸಿ ಈವನ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರೆಸಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್. That was also one of the factor that we have adopted the parliamentary form of the government. And also during the British administration we were we had acclimatized to the bicameralism. That is why we continued with the practice of the parliamentary form of the government. Okay, so one is due to the British legacy, as the British Parliament form of system of government for a long time. So Indians were familiar with its working before independence. That is why we have adopted. See, idu bekagilla why we have adopted anta. ಬಟ್ ಈ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದದು ಖಂಡಿತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 25 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಏಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ 8 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 3-4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಯೂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ದಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಸಿ ವಿ ನೋ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ, ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೇನೆ we have a parliamentary form of government. See, from all across India, if anybody can be elected to the house of the both the houses. So if there is such form of the election, even to the highest body of the highest body of the government, so there will be a kind of equality of opportunity to everybody to participate in the systems of the government. So that is why we have a parliamentary form of government. Then preference to the Constitution Assembly. So preference C, leaders like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Nehru, Rajendra Prasad supported, and it ensures that greater responsibility and accountability. See, why we know like systems of government ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 systems ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಜರ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫೀಚರ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಿ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ವೈ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್. ಓಕೆ, executive is not responsible to the legislative. Okay, so that is why there won't be much harmony. There is a clear cut separation of powers irutte. Like separation of powers include executive, legislative and judiciary. But here it is not like that. In India, we don't have that strict separation of powers between the executive and legislative. So we have gone to a system where there is more responsible, where there is more accountable. Okay, we have adopted. Whereas in presidential form of government ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರು 4 ವರ್ಷ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, USA ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಟರ್ಮ್ 4 years ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ರು 4 years ಎಲ್ಲ 4 years that particular person will enjoy the status of the president up to 4 years. But here it is not like that. That stability is not like that. Okay, if that particular minister is not enjoying, if that particular prime minister is not enjoying the like he's not acting on the whims and wishes of the people, then the members can call for a no confidence motion. Okay, so we wanted a type of a responsible government than the stability. Okay, so we preferred a more of responsible government than the stability of the government, and avoid concentration of power. So we know concentration of powers is nothing but, see, we have per few hands ಅಲ್ಲಿ, one hand ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Say for an example, we know due to the Donald Trump we are facing lot of world trade issues. Okay, even it has affected to many of the countries, which includes even India has also lot of Indiaಗೆ lot of trade ಮೇಲೆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. So why we had such, why he is doing such? Because absolute power he enjoys. absolute powers, he can do many of the things. Okay, why he can do many of the things? Ultimately he is not responsible to the legislative, but here it is not like that. If our president or if our prime minister is taking any of the measures, ultimately he will be responsible to the people. Okay, one more thing is why he will be responsible to the people is, again, he can be elected as many times as he stands. But whereas in the presidential form of the government, it's not only two I select only two times he can become a prime president. But here it is not like that. So that is why, in order to avoid the concentration of powers, we have parliamentary form of government. Okay, so we'll go to the differences between the parliamentary form of government and presidential form of government. Okay, here executive is responsible to the legislature. Here executive is not responsible to the legislature. What does it means is, see, executive is nothing but, say for an example, our council of minister Nirmala Sitaram, she will be responsible to the legislature. Legislature is nothing but all the members of the Lok Sabha and all the members of the Rajya Sabha. Whereas here executive is nothing but, ಇವ್ರದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಿಚನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಕಿಚನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವರು ಇವರು ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಹೂ ಅವರ್ ಹಿ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್, he will appoint to that ಕಿಚನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್. ಕಿಚನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಕಿಚನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್, they are not elected amongst by the people. These non-elected people will become the part of the kitchen cabinet. Okay, this kitchen cabinet, what is this function is, they will aid and advise to the president. Okay, so this non-elected persons, they are not the members of the legislature. Okay, that is why so here this is executive is nothing but the president. Okay, he will not be responsible to the legislature. Okay, why he is not responsible to the legislature? Because he has a set of he has his own members. He can appoint the members of to the kitchen cabinet on his own wishes. Okay, so whatever they are suggesting, he can execute those programs. He need not to take the suggestions from the legislature. Okay, that is why they don't have a they are not responsible, like responsible in the sense, executive is not responsible to the legislature, whereas in parliamentary form of the government, executive is responsible to the legislature. And one more is, see, real executive. ಸಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೆನಪಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ 2 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂತೂ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಈ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಂತೂ ಪಕ್ಕ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಮೇ ಆಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇನ್ KS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪೇಪರ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ನಿಮ್ಮ KS ಪೇಪರ್ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು KS ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕಾಪಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ 6 months ಈ ಎರಡು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇದು 3 ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದೇ ವೋಂಟ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ this 3 things I can expect it. So here real executive is prime minister. Why real executive? He all the major actions, like all major decisions, controlling of the council of minister irbodu, controlling of the parliament irbodu, so those all will be rested with the prime minister. So that is why he is a real executive of the parliament. Then nominal executive is president. Then fusion of powers is nothing but the harmony. Here clear separation of powers. Clear separation of powers is nothing but executive, legislative, ಅವ್ರವ್ರದವ್ರು ಮತ್ತೆ judiciary. Executive will carry its own function, legislature will carry its own function, judiciary will carry its own function. They will not overlap with the functions of each other. Whereas here the executive can take the suggestions of the legislative, and legislature can guide or can give a suggestion to the executive. So there is a harmony between the executive and legislative. Here we have two executive, that is nominal executive and real executive. Here single executive. Okay, so ministers are the members of legislature. See, ministers, okay, yaru, either they can be a member to the Lok Sabha or to the members of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, those members can become a ministers. Even if they are not members of the both the houses, still they can be a minister. How? But only for a period of 6 months they can be a minister. But after that they needs to get selected there, then only they can continue their particular portfolio. Okay, so this statement is important. Even the members who are not the members of the both the houses, they can also become the member, they can also become the minister. Okay, so this point is important. Then ministers are not the members of legislature. I told kitchen cabinet anta concept barutte, early presidential form of government. So okay, this kitchen cabinet, they are not elected. Okay, we have, they have legislature, that is this legislator e members ಅಲ್ಲಿ elected members ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. So so these people are not elected, they can be appointed in the kitchen cabinet, and this kitchen cabinet can guide to the president. So ministers are not the members of the legislature. No fixed tenure, fixed tenure. See, they have fixed tenures of 4 years. They have no fixed tenures. Why they don't have fixed tenures? If that particular political party does not enjoys the confidence in the house, at that time they can, the dissolution of the lower house can happen. Okay, the lower house can dissolve. So that is why the we don't have a fixed tenure, but we have a fixed tenure of 5 years. Before that also we can dissolve. Okay, such form of government it is present in India and UK. Here it is USA as well as our neighboring country, that is Sri Lanka. One more thing is, in this notes I have not mentioned, just scribble in your notes what it is. See, though we have adopted okay, we have adopted from the British parliamentary form of government. Okay, so still British form of government ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಏನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದ್ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿ, ಏನ್ 4 ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಾವರಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಾವರಿನ್. ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಾವರಿನ್ ಇಸ್, why it is sovereign andre, they can bring any law. Okay, they can bring any changes to the constitution. But whereas Indian parliament is not sovereign. Indian parliament is not sovereign. Why we are not our parliament is sovereign is, see, in one of the judgment, okay, I think Minerva Mills judgment ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ರಿಕಾಲ್ ದಟ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಾವರಿನ್, ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಸಾವರಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಾವರಿನ್ ಇಸ್, ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಅಮೆಂಡ್ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Why we have limited power, why parliament has a limited power to amend the constitution is because here there are some of the basic feature of the constitution. Say basic feature includes this federalism, this parliamentary form of government, then secularism, a democratic form of government. So ಕೆಲವೊಂದು basic feature ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಪವರ್ ಟು amend the constitution. That is why Indian parliament is not a sovereign body, whereas British parliament is a sovereign body. And again here, see here speaker, okay, here speaker, ಯಾರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಆ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ರಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೆರಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ದ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ we have ಓಂ ಬಿರ್ಲಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, he is from BJP. Okay, he need not to resign from that political party. Okay, so whereas in British parliament that particular person or the speaker should resign from the political party. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮೊನಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮೊನಾರ್ಕಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, ಓಕೆ, ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಹೆರಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಲೈಕ್ this head of the state, like we have a head of the state, he's nothing but president. So he is republic, he is indirectly elected. Okay, he is indirectly elected by the people. Whereas this in British Parliament, in the head of the state, he is neither elected nor he is neither directly elected nor indirectly elected, but he enjoys the hereditary position in the enjoy ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಮೊನಾರ್ಕಿಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ. Legal responsibility of the, not legal responsibility, see, if ministers, so ministers should be from lower house, from lower house. Here it is, ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಫೋಲಿಯೋ, ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಲೋವರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಇಂದಾನೇ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ವೆರಸ್ ನಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಈವನ್ ಅವರು ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ he can be a minister, but he needs to be get elected within 6 months or after 6 months, but maximum within 6 months he needs to elected. So even the member who is not the member to the parliament can also become a minister. But idralli enide andre a minister who is preferably from lower house, he can only become a particular minister anta ಈ ಎರಡು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ. ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಥವೆಲ್ಲ UPSC KS ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೆಡರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸಿ, ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೆಡರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸಿಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೊಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ 2-3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ನಿಮ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಆ 2-3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೇ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಸಿನೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಈ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? Okay, if you don't have, we'll move to the next federal form of government. Federal form of government is nothing but, I told we have two concepts. One is separation of powers. Another concept is we have division of powers. Okay, separation of powers is nothing but government idu ಮೂರು ಅಂಗಗಳು. Okay, ಮೂರು ಅಂಗಗಳು, that is executive, legislative and judiciary. Whereas division of powers is nothing but the powers. Okay, the powers is nothing but the power of making a laws, or the power of making a program. So this is a shared, okay, the power is shared between the center and the state. Okay, division of powers barutte. Federal is nothing but division. Okay, when I have told in the second, in union of territories chapter ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ, federal is nothing but ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ the large area is divided into the smaller area. Okay, that smaller area will enjoy the powers from the larger area. So federal is nothing but a division between the center and state. Okay, this form of government we have taken from the Canadian Constitution. Okay, see, please remember this, federal form of government we have taken from the Canadian Constitution. See, federal form of government, it is also present in American Constitution, but federal form of government Canadian Constitution ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಲೈಕ್ ಅಮೇರಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ 10th largest, one among the 10th largest country. ಓಕೆ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್, ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅಮೇರಿಕಾ ಇದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಮೇರಿಕಾ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ the smaller areas are divided. Okay, here it does not controls to the smaller areas, whereas this is Canada. Okay, so this is large area, this is Canada. Here it is divided into smaller area. This Canada controls, okay, controls to the states, whereas here it is this larger area, this USA does not controls the state. Okay, they can act independently in this sense. The smaller states, they can control, they can enact, they can bring the legislative or programs or whatever the legislative reforms they are willing to bring, they can bring that particular changes, that particular state. Okay, they are not bounded by the by the directions of the center. Okay, they can act independently, whereas here in Canada, whatever the center tells, they need to act. If they are not acting, then they can bring a presidential form of government. Okay, so here center, we have taken this type of government from the Canadian constitution. So this I think you're clear with what is federal form of government. So federal system government is one which powers, okay, which powers is nothing but we have legislative powers. We have legislative powers is nothing but law making powers. Law making powers is nothing but, say if central government is bringing some law regarding a health, okay, the same law can bring by the state also. Okay, so here if center says mandatory you have to accept or you have to bring that law, then the state has to bring. If the state does not bring, then the center can call for a precedent rule under the article 350 356. Okay, so federal government is the one in which powers are divided between the union and state. Powers is nothing but legislative, administrative and financial three powers ಇದೆ. So ಈ three powers next chapters ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದೋಣ. So India is called as a union of states and follows the federal system with a strong unitary bias. Okay, so this is important. See, we have a strong center. Why we have a strong center? Why? Because just to make a country more unity, to not divide the state further. Further division ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ we have a strong system, strong unitary system. And also why we have a strong center, because here important ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು, ಲೈಕ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅ ವೀಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ವೇರ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್, ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟಬಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. What does it means is, undestructible union of the states is state cannot get away from the center, or state cannot demand for a separate nation. Okay, so that is why the territory cannot get divided from our mainland. So that is the meaning of undestructible union of state ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ವಿವರಣೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೆಡರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ every elements, okay, say we have fundamental rights, everything is written. Okay, so written constitution is one of the important feature. And this avoids the confusion. See, why we have a written constitution? It is mainly to avoid confusion and to ensure stability between center and state relations. Okay, division of powers is nothing but center and state and local government. So division ಒಂದು powers ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Say in home also we will have first our father will be holding a highest authority, then mother, then elder brother. So how we have division in our own family, the same way in our constitution also they have divided the powers between the center and state. Okay, so powers are divided between union list, state list, concurrent list. ಸಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತೂ 3-4 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಖಂಡಿತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕನ್ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಖಂಡಿತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಡಿರೈವ್ ದೇರ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ British has a parliament. British constitutionally parliament is sovereign. It enjoys the sovereignty of the parliament, but whereas our constitution is a sovereign in the sense it is the parliament cannot bring any or cannot make the parliament as a sovereign, but Our constitution is only a supreme. Our constitution is only a supreme body. That means they have to follow the rules which is mentioned in our constitution, or whatever the direction or whatever the guidelines that has been mentioned in our constitution, the parliament or the respective government has to enact it. Okay, that the responsibility lies with both executive, legislative, and judiciary. Okay, say for an example, if the parliament is not acting on the whims of the constitution, then judiciary can bring, see that you are not going on the lines of the constitution. So the supremacy of the constitution can be upheld by the supreme court. Okay, so supremacy is nothing but whatever it is written in our constitution, that is only the final thing. So the constitution is the supreme, not the parliament or the state. Any law violating the constitution can be declared invalid by the court. Okay, void anta declare, that can be declared by the court. Say for an example, I have told like Delhi ಅಲ್ಲಿ pollution those that was a violation to our fundamental right. Okay, so but in the fundamental right, clean air is a fundamental right. Then Supreme Court directed that you're violating the rights of the citizens of the India. So you have to take a measures that can bring a clean air. The Supreme Court upheld the provision that is mentioned in the Constitution. Okay, then we have another is rigid constitution. Rigid constitution is nothing but, see, the parliament, we know parliament can bring an amendment to the constitution, but rigid in the sense they can bring a they can bring a changes to the constitution only with special majority or with the ratification of the state. At that time, that procedure is a complex thing. That is why to call that procedure is a complex thing, we have a that is a kind of rigidity. Okay, they have lot of procedure to follow, that makes our constitution as a rigid. Okay, certain provisions, see, not all the provisions, certain provisions of the constitution require a special procedure and a state ratification for the amendment. We know we have 101 constitutional amendment. Okay, this constitutional amendment was related to the GST. Okay, GST that had to be, that had to be a pass through a special uh, that has a special majority, and also many half of the state had ratified to accept the GST. Okay, this entire process was a complex thing. That is why a rigid constitution is nothing but they cannot bring a changes in the constitution just as just like an ordinary law. Okay, they need to follow certain rules or certain procedure in order to bring in the changes in the constitution. Then independent judiciary. Okay, Supreme Court act as a guardian of the constitution. This statement is important. Guardian of the constitution, it settles the disputes between the center and the state. Okay, under article 143 there is a virginal jurisdiction anta barutte Supreme Court chapter alli. ಈ jurisdiction is nothing but, so virginal jurisdiction is nothing but when there is a dispute between the state or the center, or when there is a dispute between the two or more state, at that time the Supreme Court, only the Supreme Court will have a sole authority to resolve that particular dispute. Okay, that is why independent judiciary is nothing but Supreme Court is not bound by the directions of the state or the center or by the executive or the legislative. The Supreme Court can act or can can go according to the rule of law. Okay, can adhere to the constitution, what is mentioned in the constitution, the Supreme Court can follow. Independent is nothing but Supreme Court Supreme Court need not to follow anyone's direction. They need to follow only what is written in the constitution. Okay, this avoids ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್, ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಜುಡಿಷಿಯರಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಸೆಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so then we have bicameral legislature at the center. See, this point is important. Bicameral at center. Not all the states have two houses of the assembly, two houses of the parliament. Like Karnataka, we have Vidhana Sabha and Vidhana Parishad. Okay, MP is also trying to have it, but UP, Bihar has. So some six states have bicameral legislature. At center we have bicameral legislature. So India has Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, where Rajya Sabha represents the state. See, this one is important. This ensures the state participation in central law making, whereas Lok Sabha represent the house of the people. Okay, that represent the people, and whereas Rajya Sabha represent the state. These statements are important. The next one is, we know we had read federal features. Federal feature is nothing but it's a the elements that is prevailing between the center and state. Here unitary features andre strong center, like what makes our constitution or what makes a central government as a strong is, these are the feature that makes our center a strong. Like why we have a strong center is because more powers. Okay, more powers to the union. See, subjects like defense ಇದೆ, foreign affairs ಇದೆ, currency ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿದಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ that has been held with the central government, not with the state government. See, have you ever seen on the matters of defense, does the state taking any measures? No, no. So the center will be taking most of the defense related measures. Even foreign affairs ಇರ್ಬೋದು, foreign affairs ಅಲ್ಲಿನೂ the central government ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಫಾರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, some of the diplomats ಬಂದ್ರೆ, that will be welcomed by the or head of the state and the head of the government. So almost like foreign affairs will be has rest with the union. That is why that makes the center a strong. Then we have a single constitution. Single constitution is nothing but for all the for the territory of the for whole territory of India, we have only one constitution. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಸೆಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟಿಗೆ ಸೆಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಒನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಸಿ ವಾಟ್ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಎಂಜಾಯ್, that will be enjoyed by other state also. Okay, so whatever the privileges that is enjoyed by our elected legislative members, even the most of the same privileges will be enjoyed by our members of the parliament. Okay, so we have a single constitution. Why we have single constitution? It is to make our constitution as a more supreme and to reduce the confusion between the center and state, and to make our strong to make our center more strong. Okay, we have single citizenship. There is only one citizenship for all Indians. Okay, to promote national unity over state loyalty. Okay, appointment of governor. So appointment of government by the president. So this is also indirectly the center will be controlling the state. How? Through appointment of the governor. Okay, then we have emergency provisions. We have, see, if there is a threat to our national security, at that time the the president can call for an emergency. Okay, under article 352, that our particular territory of India is facing an insurrection or war, so we needs to contain the various powers. So at that time the president will direct to the executive and legislative and bring a changes. Okay, so this is emergency provisions. This is also rest with the central government. That is why that makes the center a more strong. Then parliament power over the states. Okay, parliament power over the state includes, see, they can create, alter and abolish state. Okay, so whereas the same thing, the parliament, whereas the state cannot alter the boundaries, or they cannot they cannot even change the names also. Only when it is accepted by the parliament, or if it is passed by the simple majority with the state, and if it is passed by the simple majority in the parliament, at that time the parliament can bring changes. Okay, so this state does not enjoys the territorial integrity. So these are the some of the important features that you have to remember. See, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ಫೆಡರಲ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ರಿ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಈಸಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ಸೊ ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾಳೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಹಿಸ್ಟಾರಿಕಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರೀಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್, DPSP, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಈ ಒಂದು 10 ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So this is important. It is a part of your. It is a part of your program. It is not. It is not just assigned by me. It is assigned by 2-3 members of our like. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ UPSC ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, KS ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಟುಡೇ ಅನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್. So I think your exam will be very near. So don't take more time now. So study from now itself. Any doubt ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ? I think you all have no doubt. So we'll close the class today. So we'll take tomorrow the